Hey, what's up, everybody? This is MDoranD for CardRunners.com, and I'm here bringing you 4 tables of live play action on Bovada. I just loaded up 4 tables of 100 and 100 NL 6 max on Bovada. I'm sitting in the bottom right on all 4 of these tables. So I just played this session. I recorded it. Now I'm gonna just go through any significant hand that happens and stop and talk about it. If I get a section where there's folds and stuff, I'm gonna try to skip ahead to hands that are of interest, and we're just gonna go through it and try to get better together. Okay, so the very first hand I want to talk about is this Ace-Queen hand on table 2, top right. We've got a limp from seat 6. Just looking at them, on Bovada, we have to be able to make reads quickly. We don't have 50 or 1,000 hands even on most of the time on our opponents. So you got to get good at making quick reads. That's for sure. So in seat 6, he's limped half of his hand so far. He's got a full stack, but I'm tending to think he's probably a weaker player, looser, passive player who's probably going to call a good amount of the time when I raise. So, and then I look at the limper behind him in seat 1. This guy's only played one of 6 hands so far. He's got a full stack. I'm starting to think maybe a tag or a weak tag type player. If he's limping it in this spot, he definitely doesn't have a strong hand. He probably, I'm usually thinking something like a small pair, a suited connector hand, maybe like that type of range. I think if he had anything reasonable here, he would probably try to isolate. But this is probably a hand he's playing now that wants some sort of high implied odds. So immediately I'm thinking that I'm probably going to get at least 1 call when I raise here, maybe 2, and often 2 probably. So I definitely want to raise a little bit higher here, so more than 3, more than 4. I end up going with 5. I think I probably would have been okay with 6 or 550 even, but I will certainly accept 5. Unfortunately, the weaker player that we thought in table seat 6 does fold, but we do get action from seat 1, the guy we think might have been that weaker tag. So I hit this flop. Now this is obviously a great flop for my hand, and I do think that against the range that I'm immediately starting to build for him, that I think I can get called by a decent part of it. He's going to call with any pair, I think, here. I don't think he's going to fold a pair on this flop for 1 bet. I do think some of his suited connectors could be around here, like 5, 6, or these types of hands that could float. So I think I'm going to get called here. I don't think he's very strong unless he made a set generally, but I do think he'll probably call 1 bet here. I don't really expect him to call 2 or 3 bets at this point. Unless he does make a really strong hand. Now, I do bet $8, and he calls somewhat quickly. A somewhat quick call would be in line with the type of range that I think he might be on. And now, the turn is an ace, obviously a great card for our hand. But that said, probably not such a great card for our opponent's hand. And I'd have to think at this point, we just have a lock on the hand, and most of the time this ace was bad for our opponent's range. At this point, I'm thinking about checking to call. I think betting just gets a fold like 90% of the time, like maybe more than that, and unless it's like a real cooler type situation. In that case, we might be in trouble. So I'm checking here to call. If he bets, I'm not going to raise. I'll probably check to him on the river as well. But I just don't think he probably has very much here.